The RAC was to fund that. It'd be one of their best funding projects that they've done.
Is that it?
That was it.
Wow, okay.
What do you mean, wow? I'm not the one that goes on and on.
Any other concerns? Okay, what action do I hear?
I would recommend the approval of the letter.
I can't even recover from that. It's been moved and seconded for approval of the letter of support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Okay, pass unanimously.
Thank you. Christie, you'll get this to Lydia as soon as possible.
Okay. County Council, any report? Thank you.
Appointments?
Appointments. Let's move to appointments. We have quite a slew here. Supervisor, you want to lead off?
Well, yeah, the Policy Council on Children and Youth, we have positions 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, recommended by staff. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28, recommended by staff. I hereby nominate all those.
Okay, the slate has been moved and seconded. Questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed.
Cemetery District, Little River. Here we are. Item U, Charles Moffett. That's on page, well, it's item U.
Yep, we've got
So
it.
recommended.
Moved and seconded for Charles Moffett Cemetery District of Mendocino, Little River. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recommend Dan Van Oven for item B, Cemetery District of the Redwoods.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, Cemetery District of the Redwoods. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed.
To the Library Advisory Board for District 4, Valerie Frey.
Okay,
Recommend.
it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Valerie Fry for the Library Advisory Board for 4th District. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Okay, a unanimous vote. Hooray!
We have an off-agenda item.
Thank you, Mr.
Can we have findings on that, time sensitive? That'll be in Little River Fire Protection District in replacing the expired term of Sam Levine, Dan Sitz, S-I-T-T-S.
So we're voting on the off-agenda
Yes.
status.
This was brought to staff's attention and requires board action subsequent to the agenda publication.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to accept it as an off-agenda
Agenda
item.
Aye.
Aye.
Who's the second on that?
Supervisor Delbar.
Delbert.
Okay, and then Dan Sitz as the nominee.
Second.
Okay,
Aye.
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 I know we're moving fast, but, so the off-agenda item was accepted on a unanimous vote. The nomination of Dan Sitz was motioned and seconded and passed on a unanimous vote.
Right.
Okay? And, let's see. Supervisors' reports.
We have a consent item too, sir.
Oh, before we move to that, thank you, Supervisor Pinches. We do have 2 consent items.
All right.
Let's go in order. Number 5, adoption resolution master fee schedule. Supervisor Pinches.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I pulled this off the consent calendar because by accepting this policy, basically accepts the fee schedule that's included, and I'm just going to give some examples where I'm opposed to this. For instance, and I've said many times before, I don't feel that the environmental health on page 8 on that list A restaurant and bar over 650 square foot, 665, and if it's under 650 square foot, 492. I don't believe, basically it makes a little hamburger stand pay the same environmental health fee as, say, which a McDonald's or a fast food. There's millions of dollars difference in annual sales, and for them to pay within just a few dollars more I don't think that's fair, especially the small business people. Another issue is the water well permit, $313, and all it is a piece of paper. They have no inspection process where they go out there to see where the well is or anything. I think that's too high. Another one, I think that it's funny to me that a certificate of compliance costs $201, but a minor subdivision to go through, that's $1,300. And in effect, the certificate of compliance can create actually major subdivisions. And I don't think that's fair or even equitable. Another one, on page 24, the special planning commission meeting costs $820 plus $280. So that's $1,100 for the first hour of the planning commission. And the planning commissioners, if I was a planning commissioner, I would be insulted how the county's getting $1,100 an hour for their services and their volunteers. So I disagree with that one. And another one, to cancel an ag preserve is $2,640, but to set one up, it's only $650. It would seem, maybe I don't understand the whole process, but it just seems to me that the process of getting into an ag preserve would be more time-consuming and no expensive for staff than to get out of one. So why is it $1,000 more? So I just want to, I'm going to register my no vote on this item because of that's just a few of the concerns that I have with it. Thank you.
To the chair, maybe he can
Yes.
clarify, we're not changing any fees by this action, are we are we making fee changes?
You've already approved these
That's what I
fees
thought.
through the fee hearings. You're just changing the process for the future.
Because we're going to be having that during the budget process.
And that's my point. I voted no the first time, and I'm voting no again.
Okay.
We got the point.
Okay, now that we have that clarification, thank you very much. Before us, the recommended action to adopt the resolution to enact the master fee schedule, Exhibit X, for county department fees. We have one stated opposition. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved for the recommended action. Do I hear a second? Second. Moved and seconded. Discussion to the item?
Yeah, just one other point, Mr. Chairman. When we voted, the board voted previously on this fee schedule, there was a couple of departments that said that they were going to look into, one was the environmental fees of that. I've heard nothing back from environmental health on looking in. I think that the restaurant 650 square feet versus a fee of under, I think that's totally unfair, especially, it gives the large corporations there's a monetary advantage there. And they were supposed to come back, environmental health, and report back to us a justification of that fee, and we never heard nothing back since then. This is the first I've heard, is to codify that fee schedule, but no response.
You found your pen?
Yes, I still have my pen, Jimmy, so. We are currently in the process, as outlined in this new policy, of taking in fee requests for next year. I believe they're due this Thursday is the final date that they're due in our office. We'll look specifically for those environmental health fees. These are times as we're trying to do projects like this that you see what it's like, what the public has to go through. And I can tell you, trying to figure these fees out over the last several months and develop a master fee schedule was confusing. It was onerous. There was information all over the place. So if any poor